Welcome back to the Shoeless podcast, the podcast heard around the world. We're back, and you know what, guys? I'm gonna get a little sentimental right now because this COVID kind of hit us. It kind of hit us hard this year, and I remember the first day. Hold on, give me a second. That the NFL started, and Obi put into the group chat, and he said, "Guys, we made it." And we never thought this day would come. And we ended up making it all the way to the Super Bowl, without really any inflictions on the league, except for when the Broncos had to start a wide receiver at quarterback. That was really bad. But other than that, they had no chance to make it to the Super Bowl. But we made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and, I mean, how else could it have ended? But we'll get into that. But we also have a new kind of forum that we use to introduce topics into the podcast. Mike, you want to expand on it?
Yeah, so we're gonna do a little bit of a mailbag with the viewers. So we appreciate to all you guys who send in questions on all the social medias. We were really looking for you guys.
Hundreds and hundreds of questions we got.
Yeah, so we had to narrow it down to 14 out of the thousands that we got. So, we were millions and millions. So we have some questions here, and so NBA and NFL mostly. So we're gonna get into those. But yeah, like Isaiah said, like can't believe we made it to the Super Bowl. I remember when Obi sent that text, and then 15 minutes later, as the Jets were down 20-0 to Buffalo, I wish that they had the whole team had gotten COVID, so I didn't have to watch them play, because that was not
Josh Allen.
That was not a great football from the New York Jets. But yes, we have these questions lined up. But before we get into the topics, you already know what I'm going to do. And at this point, if you've heard me say this how many times and you haven't done it yet, well, I don't know what you're doing, because you got to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. So this way, on the next poll, your question can be read on this very podcast. So
you heard him.
On Twitter, on Instagram, right here, right below me, right to Obi's left or his right, whichever, I don't know. Either one.
For our blind listeners, it's Shoeless Joe's Pod. You enter Shoeless Joe's Pod and hit the follow button. I'm sure your phone will tell you how to get there, and your Siri will tell you how to get there. And we also appreciate you for listening to this podcast.
Yes. So all there. And then, of course, like and subscribe. We told you guys to comment your favorite commercial from the Super Bowl, but none of them are good. But if you still have a favorite, you can still comment.
All bad.
If you have to pick
Drake from State Farm.
Which one was your? If you have to pick one, what it?
That was the best one. That was the best.
I thought the one with Tracy Morgan and like the Rocket Mortgage one.
Oh yeah, no, that was good.
Those were pretty funny. The Drake one, just because I guess it was Drake, but it wasn't that good of a commercial.
And which Bosa brother was it? Which racist Bosa brother was it? My fault.
No, the other one is the.
It was Joey, but Nick is
Joey's the cool one. Joey's the cool one.
It's the Trumper.
Wait. Which one is the good one? Joey or Nick?
Joey, San Diego.
I don't know if either of them are good. I just know one of them hasn't come out and told us his political agenda, and that's all. I don't think the other one did either. I think
they just started.
They just made it up. Yeah, it's fine.
But
you win some, you lose some.
I guess that's a good segue. We got to talk Super Bowl. So a game that was much, much anticipated. The GOAT and the GOAT to be was how this game was looked at in the media. And thanks for the gift, Zoom, by the way. We appreciate that. We always
love you, Zoom.
We appreciate it always. So but this was a big game. And to say that it didn't live up to the hype, I guess, might be an understatement, because I think everything about this game, besides maybe the halftime show, was kind of a dud. The commercials weren't great. The game that we saw on the field wasn't great. I mean, if you're a Tampa Bay fan, a win is a win. So you're not saying anything about how the game looked. But for a neutral audience, it didn't live up to expectations. So what did you think about the overall performances of leaving the quarterbacks out of it, of just the two teams?
Well, it was, like you said, it was a rough game to watch, especially for neutral fans, people who didn't have a team to pick in the game. But I just think, honestly, I hate Tom Brady, and I'm sure you guys too. You guys do too, because you're Jet fans. But I just don't want to see Brady win, and I like Patrick Mahomes a lot, mainly because a part of him is black. So I really wanted him to win the Super Bowl on that fact alone, and just how great his arm talent was, which in a loss in a game where he didn't throw a touchdown, he still managed to show off elite arm talent to receivers who didn't want to show up that day, but also a line who just wasn't there, and allowed him to be chased on every play. Like I told you guys before, like in the third quarter, there was a stat of like 40 something hurries, and in every game I've ever watched of the NFL, I've never seen anything like that. I don't think. Yeah, I have never seen anything like that. So it wasn't a great game by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
It was sad to watch.
it was sad to watch. I will say this though, a lot of players were really putting on that showcase. And I think the rest of like fans of the NFL need to start like paying attention to. And there were some players that got exposed. We'll talk. I saw it was one of the questions in there. We'll talk further more about it. I'll give you. Tyron did not get exposed. I need to stop right there.
He
Safety in
talked to
the
Brady
league.
and then he threw a touchdown on him. So
A safety in the league. I needed to stop right there. But
second.
you know, somebody might there's a receiver out there that wasn't looking like himself, man. But I mean, and we gotta give I think Zay, you actually are a huge fan of is it White? Devin White?
Devin
White?
White, I like Devin White. Um,
Yeah.
who else is on
All
that?
over that. He was
Yeah,
moving, bro.
JPP too. They were all really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shaq
Shaq
Barrett.
Barrett. Yeah, when they spoke to them like during media day, they were all like ready to get into that. Like
They
that's
wanted
one thing
him.
I'll say about Tom Brady. Like there came out those reports about how like people were upset about not making the Pro Bowl and whatnot, and he was just like, "That's not the bowl that we're after. Like there's
I do not
another
care.
goal. Like who like that stuff does
Yeah,
not matter.
I know what you
Not
wanted
going
to
to
say. Who
Hawaii.
gives? Who
Yeah,
gives,
but
bro?
like he just had that team completely focused on this game, and like regardless of injuries, it obviously showed they were ready to go out and win that game.
No, and immediately from like the kickoff, you could tell who was locked in and who wasn't, and the Chiefs just never looked like it's always like that's always the thing with the Chiefs too is like they always come out slow and then they like make a play and then they turn it on, and then I just felt like they never like the Bucks never let them get comfortable, so they could never like reach into like that next level and just turn it on. And then you can see once they weren't able, like once they fell down and they couldn't take that next punch, like you saw their confidence start to waver. And then once that happens in in the National Football League, you're in trouble. So I mean, like, and I think like yeah, like the story of the game after was rightfully so like Todd Bowles' defense versus the Chiefs, and I think like the manner in which they did it was really impressive. Like they're getting pressure off just like straight 3-man, 4-man rushes because they're playing too high safety the whole game because they were doubling Tyreek Hill for like on every single snap. So and then like Obi said, like even when they did that, Kelsey was not converting his one-on-ones that he usually does. And even Mahomes wasn't even getting the chance to get to those one-on-ones on the first read. They all had to become scramble plays. So what is like obviously the story after the game was about Mahomes, right? And all the heroics that he had to pull to even it wasn't even a close game, but like to even give them a like that game could have been way worse without him trying to pull off all the magic he tried to pull off. So I mean like there's two like you can look at it in like a negative light, but I think it's more about how he improvised with absolutely no help in that game. And obviously a loss is still a loss, but to say it was a valiant effort, I feel like is definitely fair in this case.
I think you just had to watch the game because it doesn't show on the stat sheet, how hard that he was trying. And like the things he had to pull off, like the throws that he was making, they even had like sound clips of Tampa Bay, like during the Super Bowl, just like, how's he doing that? Like, I know we're beating them, but like, that's also kind of ridiculous that he's making those throws. Just like even getting the ball off, like it sounds like such a little thing, but if you watch the game and how bad he was getting chased, like it's no other quarterback could really pull those off except like an Aaron Rodgers.
Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford, maybe we'll see.
No.
Behind that old line, he'll be fine.
He wouldn't have to run anyway.
There won't be a chance. Also, I want to shout out Antonio Brown though. He didn't get it in his prime, but he came into this game. He made a play on the best safety in the league, caught a touchdown.
Why is there quotation marks?
Because it's debatable, but I'll give it to you for right now. But because he was in the game, but Antonio Brown, shout out to my second love team, the Steelers. Had he been on the Steelers and done it, it would have been, a lot better. That's funny because the best safety in the league is on the Steelers, but he still was able to make a play, and I think that's really big for him.
Out on my jersey,
LaShawn McCoy too, 1-1 with why do I want to say Chip Kelly? Not Bruce. Oh, Bruce Arians. Never mind. Against Andy Reid. He won one with Andy Reid the year before, and then won one.
LaShawn McCoy, yeah.
So back to back, that adds to his resume. I think that's. I don't know if they'll count those, really, but he should be a Hall of Famer.
And last thing,
Shady definitely should be a Hall of Famer.
I think it was the Super Bowls was the question, but I know he didn't make plays in them really, but he has them on his resume.
Yeah, he has them. Yeah.
And Gronk too, like
Gronk
just emerging, and everyone's kind of said it that because there was a lot of prop bets on different betting websites about who scores a touchdown, this and that, and everyone was Gronk should be in that conversation just because in a big game Brady's just gonna go to his comfort. Yeah,
he literally brought him there because he said if we get to the Super Bowl, I just need 2 plays from you. This guy, and he made 3,
and he got him. Man, that and the T-Mobile commercial with him and Gronk is funny too. To be fair, but yeah, I mean,
to be fair to the commercial.
Yeah, to be fair to the commercial. So he had a good performance on and off the field. Good job, Rob. Not as good as his performance on The Masked Singer, a show that me and Obi enjoy.
Said, Ma, where are my football pants?
But I guess on that note, I mean, we can get into the questions then on the mailbag edition of the Shoeless Joe's podcast. So we got a mix of some NBA and some NFL questions in here.
Are we if we remember who asked the question, we'll shout you out. If we remember, I'm not sure who can remember who asked the question.
I think we can remember a lot of these.
If you hear your question, just cheer.
All right, so I'll
just comment down below.
Yeah, which question it was.
I'll start with the shout outs. Brian Wallace, thank you for contributing the first 4 questions of this mailbag. The first 4 are all Brian Wallace. Thank you. Appreciate it. So the first question for Brian, I don't know if this is sarcasm or not, but he asks, what is the master plan to bring a chip to the New York Knicks?
That's the same thing, Brian. I'm asking them the same thing.
That makes 3 of us because I don't have the answers either. But I'm hoping Leon Rose does, because if he doesn't, then it's gonna be another long decade over here for me. But I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, I think the plan kind of revolves around just I don't know if there's I can't give you names or players that are going to be the reason that they get there, but in a larger sense, just the idea of just continuing to develop the young players. We see the first year with a real coach, what it does for Randall, what it does for Mitch, what it does for RJ Barrett. And then just continuing to do that, keep acquiring assets, keep maintaining financial flexibility, keep attaining draft picks like the Dallas pick that we have this year, the 2023 Dallas pick, because not even to necessarily draft those players, but to use those as assets. Because there's conversations right now about Zach LaVine and Bradley Beal, and I get all of those, but the Knicks are not in a position, even if they make a trade like that, they're going to have nothing left. And if they did, they'd be mediocre. So I just feel they're not in the spot yet to make a move like that. They should just continue to get to the point where they can be a playoff team on their own footing before they make a move like that. And I think just continuing to lay the groundwork. And then when that opportunity comes when you're a solid team already to make that move, you make that move. But just continue what they're doing right now. Keep playing the young guys, getting them better, and then keep adding assets. And then I feel you're on the right track.
Yeah, I agree. I think steps have been taken in the right direction, especially this season with everything new coming in, and Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau. But I think I don't know I don't know what the master plan. I don't know if there is a master plan, because things will arise and you'll have to trade Kristaps Porzingis, in the day. But you have to make New York an attractive place for free agents to come to, because you can't. The way the league is going right now, of course, there are a lot of young, great guys, and of course, you can anticipate on great young guys coming to the team. But the Knicks, as good as they are right now, aren't going to get like the number one guy who it really is going to make them boom. So I think making New York an attractive place, the Knicks an attractive team to go to, is the number one step. And I think they're doing that now because I think having homegrown guys because it's not baseball, right? It's not the MLB where you can just pay out of your pocket to just go and get the best guys. You have to develop that farm system. You have to bring guys in who want to be a part of the culture, who change the culture, guys who want to be in New York, and it create an environment that people would want to come to and want to win it. Because New York is already an attractive place in itself, but for the past years, people have just been chilling on that. Like they just think, oh, New York is cool, so people are going to come. So we get big names like Phil Jackson. Like you just get people like that. But what you need to do is go further than that. Make it a place where people want to be and people are comfortable being.
No, and I agree. And I just like on the last thing on that, just like the idea of like the free agent coming is not really something that's realistic, especially with the next three or four free agency classes being relatively weak. Like the year, there's no point of that. Like, just you might as well build it, and like the whole like build it and they will come thing actually like kind of applies here, because it's like the whole reason that the Knicks couldn't get anybody in the last since Melo is because like no one wants, like they didn't have a direction to even like, oh, I can do that in this market. Like that wasn't even a thing. They're just like literally you were going to be there and then you would have to figure it out because the franchise was not helping you. So showing signs that they can actually be competent, and like the fact that they have the team that was supposed to win the least games in the NBA right now, and right now if the season ended would be in like a play-in game. If they can continue that kind of stuff, then I think they're on the right track. The next question, again, Brian Wallace, is Daniel Jones a franchise quarterback? I make fun of Isaiah for this one. But the truth is, I'm not sure yet myself. I mean, I think not having Saquon this year definitely didn't help him. But I mean, he showed he had moments, but I think, yeah, by the end of next year, you'll tell. But if I had to say right now, I'd probably say no. I don't think he's a solution.
I would, I don't know. This is tough, obviously, because Daniel Jones, I don't hate him. But there were times this year where like the Giants were like, should we start Colt McCoy? Like, should we not play him? And so that kind of bothers me when you don't really have it all the way there at the quarterback position. And like a decade ago, I say yes, he could be, because defense would be so important. But on paper, the Chicago Bears have the best defense in the league. But Mitchell Trubisky is not getting it done for them. Not to say that Daniel Jones is Mitch, but I think there are some bright spots where he can throw the ball. I think this is the year to test it, though, if you have Saquon fully healthy, if you have Sterling Shepard the whole time, Golden Tate, if you got Darius Slayton who's coming out. I think with the whole slate of weapons, Evan Ingram too. With the whole slate of weapons, you have to see what he can do. And he's never had an OC for more than a year. They had Pat Shermer, who was the head coach, who ran the offense, obviously. And then the next year they had Jason Garrett. This was their first year with Jason Garrett. So next year we have to see how the Jason Garrett, Daniel Jones relationship goes. Hopefully he's not getting a new head coach every year like Sam Darnold. But I really think Daniel Jones could be a franchise quarterback. I don't think the question is he? Because I think it's too early to ask that. But I think, could he be a franchise quarterback? I think he has the weapons around him and he has the ability to be. He could be a really good game manager, I think.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, I don't know. I don't think he'll ever be the type of quarterback to go out and like win you games.
Get a superstar.
Right. Or not even like a superstar. Like there's quarterbacks who are good enough to like go like we always say, we throw the name Matt Stafford right a lot on this podcast coincidentally, but like he's never going to be the guy. Like he's never going to be like a superstar, but like he has the ability to go out and win you games single-handedly by himself. And I don't know if Daniel Jones is that type of player. Like I think if he has all those weapons and he has Saquon and Ingram's playing well and they have Slayton and they draft another receiver, Like, and then you have all these weapons around. I think he's the guy who can manage that and like with his legs and everything do that. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think the jury's definitely still out on that one. Any thoughts on Daniel Jones, Obi?
Yeah, I think it's too like you were saying. I think it's too early to decide if he's your franchise quarterback. What he's in year 3 and into year 4. You gotta give him more time. Not even sure if Arnold's our franchise quarterback. Gotta give Dan Jones some more time.
I don't think
He's somebody else's franchise.
Yeah, he's gonna be somebody else's franchise quarterback, and I hope he succeeds. But I don't think it's gonna be with the Jets. Jets. So the next question we have here is more of a NFL question. Now another NFL question. All right, this one's sent in by Mike. Man, shout out Mike. I appreciate
Mike Gutierrez, go tap
Yes, sir.
into his page.
Shout out his YouTube.
Mike Styles.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah, shout out his YouTube channel.
So go subscribe while you're here. Go subscribe to him and check out him on social media too. Cause
Facts, some fashion tips, bro. Cause y'all sometimes y'all don't know what
G
to
Styles,
put on.
man. Yeah,
Y'all
facts.
cannot dress sometimes, bro. Y'all be trying too hard, bro.
yeah, so
Just take some tips.
Shout out all our content creators out there, man. We appreciate y'all. So the question is, who are the top 5 receivers in the National Football League right now? And I know Obi's gonna have some strong opinions on this one, so I'll just let him kick it off.
I want y'all to fully healthy.
Everyone fully healthy.
Yeah, everybody fully healthy. I want y'all to give an honest top 5.
Are we doing eye test or production?
Both. Combine both.
Both, yeah. Combination of both.
I'm just making sure.
Make fun of the eye test. It's a real thing.
I'm not saying it's not a real thing. I'm just saying it doesn't always hold as much weight as you say it does.
All right, I'll go.
I'll go
first.
whole weight for you because you was wrong with Frank, but it's okay.
There was no eye test with Frank. I said I'm a Knicks fan, and I hope this kid is good.
Denzel Mims. So
he said Trae Young would be bad. He said Trae Young wouldn't be good.
He saw him with his eyes.
He said it. He saw them with his eyes. He said he would be bad.
Anyway,
we all have exactly. We all miss sometimes. It's all right. All right, top 5. Do you want to start?
Who y'all got at 1? Who y'all got
only alive?
Like everybody fully healthy. Who do you have at 1?
Tay Adams.
Devontae Adams.
Julio Jones at 1. Fully healthy. Julio Jones.
Fully healthy.
Number 2.
At 2, I got Julio Jones. And you have Devontae at 2?
Yeah, I guess it got to be Julio.
Yeah, I would say Julio Jones.
Julio 2.
3. I think we're gonna have the same 3. I feel like we should. Same person have 3.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Damn, I've heard.
And I think this is where it gets hard when you get to like 4 and 5.
You could really make an argument though for him to be like. I know that you love Julio, but you can make an argument for him to be higher than Julio, and it wouldn't be outlandish. Like I don't think.
I just think because he didn't play last season, though. Is that why you're saying that?
I mean, nah, it's not that. I'm not like I think they're both like amazing, but I just mean like I guess it's like recency bias with what he just did this year was ridiculous. So, and I mean,
but my only thing is nobody's doing what Julio's doing at like 6'4", bro. I'm sorry, this is nobody doing that.
Yeah, he is a freak. Like the way I'm gonna judge it, because I do this a lot if we're doing like top, players or top lists. It's just like you have no team and you have to choose from this litter of guys. I'm gonna take Julio Jones before I take D-Hop. That's not the only factor, but that's one of the factors, and I'm 100% going to take Julio Jones before DeAndre Hopkins. They thrive in their position, but I'm talking about a guy you can put on any team at any time, and he's going to get those numbers. D-Hop is in that category, but not on the same level as a Julio Jones.
Number 4 gets interesting, though.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people are probably expecting like Tyreek Hill. But for me, like I think Tyreek Hill is definitely in the discussion for like top 5 receiver. But it's just this route running, man. It's like,
are you putting him at 4?
No. I don't think I'm putting him at 4.
You're just saying he has to be in the conversation?
Yeah,
is he in your top 5 right now?
Like if he's gonna be there, he's gonna have to be like at 5. But I couldn't put him at 4.
That's what I'm saying. He's at my honorable mention right now.
I'm not even sure. if I
He
put
could
him
be an
five.
honorable mention.
But
I feel like I'm missing
four,
names right now. I feel like I'm missing people right now.
bro, I don't know if like that's the thing. Like decaf, I mean wow decaf,
DK Metcalf.
DK, DK Metcalf, I think might have to be 4 or 5.
Stephon
No.
Diggs?
Yeah, I was about to
No,
say.
oh no. Like, oh, I apologize. So, I
Come
apologize.
on, this was a big year.
Yeah,
Nah,
For a
I was
man
gonna
that
say
Mike said can't throw the ball accurately, this
nah,
was a
Diggs is
big year
4.
for the
he's
man.
number 4 for me. I was gonna say that too, because his route running and like his hands. Oh my! Like there was times
Yeah,
where Josh Allen would throw the ball on the floor. He would just go like this and just catch it this high off the ground, or everything was a toe tap. He's his route running, his hands, everything.
Yeah,
Is
and that was
ridiculous.
big for him coming out of Minnesota because he did have that one catch, but that the year before this he didn't have a great year, and like people were killing him in the media, and he
this is
came here
definitely
and
true.
like yeah, I would put
Who y'all got at 5 though? Who y'all got at 5? Yeah, I think for me it's probably gonna be DK and Tyreek Hill. Like DK, his hands is sus, and then Tyreek Hill, like route running is ass. That nigga is just. Oh,
he's he's the fastest man who ever lived though.
I apologize to the viewers out there.
I don't even know.
Oh,
That's a hard one. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to decide. Okay, the thing is like for all the, and I know he got exposed this year, but for all the things said about Michael Thomas, the stuff that he does have a track record, but to avoid being slandered by the man wearing red, I might I mean I don't know. I do think Tyreek is better than Michael Thomas, but yeah, I'll go
Don't
with Tyreek
mention
Hill.
I
don't mention
disagree.
Michael Thomas around me ever.
That's
Ever.
fine. That's fine.
You will hear
We're
slander.
pretty far away right now, and this is over the airwaves and on the internet. So what I'm going to say is Michael Thomas would be my honorable mention, but he's not my number 5, and that's because he didn't play this year.
Michael Thomas not even better than Justin Jefferson. I said it.
Yeah, we heard you, and you're wrong, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll let that rock. I'm not gonna put him in the top 5.
Better than Calvin Ridley. I know.
Then Julio isn't either, bro. Then Julio isn't better than Calvin Ridley either, bro. Ridiculous. Do you think? Okay, before I say my number 5, though, do you think AJ Brown could get into
Yes.
that conversation?
Yeah, he's in that conversation.
I think of all the young guys, I think he's not the same size as DK Metcalf, obviously, because DK
he's
Metcalf
up
is a
there.
freak, but he's right there with
yeah.
him, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He gets overlooked because DK is playing with Russell Wilson, so they're going to get attention in Seattle. But I think AJ Brown
Who do you
is a monster. But my
you
number
know
5
why?
is Keenan Allen,
Ooh,
fully healthy.
I like that pick.
Everyone fully healthy. I think Keenan Allen is a monster that nobody talks about. I don't know why, but Keenan Allen is a beast.
I don't know why. Like, maybe it was because
Mike Williams don't be doing nothing sometimes.
nothing.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He's
don't
on
do
my
a
fantasy
thing.
team, and he
Mike Williams
many
is
on the
6'5".
bench.
Just 6'5".
Yeah.
They just be,
Doing nothing.
bro, but why do you think Keenan Allen doesn't get that respect though? I really couldn't tell you why he doesn't.
I don't know. I think people aren't looking. I think him and Justin Herbert are going to get some looks this year, though. I think Keenan Allen has constantly been underlooked, and I think he's faster than people think because he beats guys over the top, and his route running is good too. But
no, he's top 5 route runner.
Yeah, in the league right now. But
maybe top 3, maybe top.
But his hands and catch radius is on the level of like he's almost like a tight end who just runs like as fast as a receiver because he's able to like square guys, like box guys out and then just like get the ball and just you can give it to him wherever and he's going to catch it. I just think he's so reliable as a receiver. Like, and Michael Thomas is the same way, but Michael Thomas kind of does only run slants and ends and short routes. But Keenan Allen does it all, and he's so reliable as a receiver.
I mean, I get the Michael Thomas slander, but if it's 3rd and 5 and you need a first down, you know where he'll be.
5 yards out.
With the ball in his hands.
5 yards away from the line of scrimmage.
At the sticks like this. So, all right. The next question comes from Corey Powell, and it's a good one. Shout out, Corey. We appreciate that question. This is a hard
question.
What he said, give us our top 3 teams in the Eastern Western Conference, but 5 years from now. 5 years down the road. What is it? 2026?
You want to start with the East or the West first?
That's a long way.
26.
That's a
I'm
long way
ready
down
for
the
my
road.
West. I'm ready for my West. I think West is easy. For me.
All right, so if we're
I got
talking
the
about
Is
Jazz.
it though?
the
Yes.
Jazz,
Yes, I got the Jazz. They just locked up Mitchell and
yeah,
Gobert for
but
5 years.
at the end of that 5 years, will they still be there? Is the question. Because when that season starts, will they be a member of the Utah Jazz? That's the difference.
Nah, this is tough.
Because I don't.
Honestly.
I got the Jazz. I'll give it to Denver.
Denver, I could see. Yeah.
Jazz, Denver. Who's the third team I told myself? Don't forget to mention. I was thinking about this. Oh, the Jazz, Denver.
This is a pretty obvious one for me because you didn't name them yet. Take your
Jazz,
time.
Denver. I don't got a third yet. I'll come back to me. I don't got a third.
All right,
yet.
I'll do my top 3 in the West right now, and my number 1 is the New Orleans Pelicans. Whether or not they move on from Lonzo Ball, I think whatever team, I think in 5 years, make your faces. I think in 5 years, whatever team Zion Williamson is on is going to be the good team. Is going to be a really good team and in playoff contention every year. Them, I think whatever Chris Paul leaves, I mean, honestly, I don't know because I don't even know if Devin Booker is going to stay with Phoenix. That's tough because you can't really tell whether or not people are going to leave the teams or not. But I think if Chris Paul could leave the Sun, Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton at the peak of their potential are Shaq and Kobe. In this league, you can put up 30, 40 a night.
Yeah, but Booker could be gone in 2023.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know how long if he's going to be there in 5 years.
It's tough. Wow,
But definitely the Nuggets. The Nuggets. I'm gonna go Pelicans, Suns, Nuggets.
No, so
that Pelicans pick is intriguing. The only thing I think the third team I had at first originally was Dallas, but that making me rethink it with that Pelicans pick. I'm not going wrong.
Terry.
Go ahead, Mike.
This is hard. This is a great question. All right, so Denver, I agree with Denver. I think Jokic will be there for a long time. I think Jamal Murray will be there for a long time. And they draft well, so that'll continue. A team I keep thinking in my head is Memphis. And the reason I say that is because Ja Morant came in last year and was so so good so quick, and then he got hurt. And if you keep doing that, Jaren Jackson, and then they draft so well, like Desmond Bane's one of the top rookies, Brandon Clark was one of the top rookies last year. They drafted both of them like late in the first round. Like if they can keep drafting like that and adding talent to that core, then like the only thing that would really keep holding them back is like injuries. I'm just saying like it's hard to like that's why I struggle with like when you say like New Orleans, because like it's hard to know what happens because like for small market teams like that to be good, like they have to keep drafting well because they're not going to get that guy. Like the big guy is not signing in Memphis, he's not signing in New Orleans. Like
unless he's re-signing on that team,
right?
Which is why I say, look out.
No, but I like your Memphis talk too because before Ja got hurt, Memphis was a top 5 team in the West. So.
But they did all of that just by.
And they didn't even have Jaren Jackson Jr. either.
And they did all of that just by drafting well. Like all those people they have there, they drafted. So like if they're gonna keep doing that, then like they're gonna be fine. And then the third,
Dylan Brooks they drafted too.
Yeah,
and then
they did
Bane and all of them. And then the third one is hard. I mean, I see the New Orleans one, and Zion will definitely be there still. I just don't know if they'll figure it out around him. But
I think Zay's right. They'll figure it out.
They probably will.
I think I'll include New Orleans.
But the thing about this question is that like by 2026 in 5 years, there's gonna be players in the league killing that we don't even know who they are yet.
Yeah.
Like they're in 10th grade, bro, and then they're gonna be in the league.
Amani Bates could be the next KD.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know. We don't know. So East.
So forget that conference.
East. I want to say Philly, but I don't know if they're gonna have the same construction. Boston. I'm gonna go Boston for one for sure. I think Tatum and Brown for are gonna be there for a while.
Yeah.
This is tough. Wow.
Yeah. I was honestly
What
be
is
32.
who? Jalen Brown.
Giannis will be 32
Sheesh.
Must
in
be
5 years.
32 years old.
5 years.
Ooh. So not the Bucks.
I want to. A name that's coming to mind is Atlanta, and I just say that because they like. I don't know if that's necessarily true, and I'm not gonna put them on my list right away. But I just feel like I'm thinking of the teams with like young
Young
talent.
stars. Yeah.
I want to say Orlando. I want to say the Orlando Magic, but I'm going Aaron Gordon, Cole Anthony, and then I'm not getting another name.
Oh, Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon might not be there by the trade
They
deadline.
didn't even want him
Nah,
there now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of. But that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of young players on that team who would be good, and I don't think they're good for the long run. But I like the
Boston and
Charlotte
Atlanta.
Hornets, Boston, and the Charlotte Hornets. I want to say. I think Miles Bridges found a home, and I think LaMelo Ball found a team that he could bring from the ground up. I'm gonna throw the Knicks, and I'm gonna throw the Knicks right there too, because I give them 5 years to figure it out.
The thing I wanted to say that I didn't want to say
5 years is a long time. So
like a
you
homer.
don't do it by then. I'm wearing black and white.
Nah, never, never. But I did want to. I was thinking that, but like, I don't know. I just feel like I want to say that, and like I feel like they're on the right track to being a normal team. But like, I'm not saying nothing until they show me more of being competent. But I mean, in terms of
Jackson's
like
back.
in terms of like asset base and stuff like that, like they could, but I don't know. And then like it's also like we say that, but it's also like it doesn't have to be just the young teams because like the Miami Heat pulled like a championship run out of nowhere, like, and because they're just well run and Pat Riley knows what he's doing. So like
Milwaukee, one of them Bucks, man.
Isn't his extension will be done by then, wouldn't it?
It'd be the final year of it.
Oh, well. So they better win that year. Or this prediction is wrong.
Oh, at least the 5 leading up to it.
No, the extension starts next year, so they'll be in the middle of the year before it's up.
Sabonis.
Nah.
Karis LeVert if he plays.
Nah. I'll just you might as well just say the Knicks and just leave it.
Yeah,
I think Philly. I think Philly
before the Pacers.
I think Philly will be good then too. I think Philly would be good then too because regardless of if they get rid of Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid, what you'll get back for Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid will be monstrous. So I think 5 years they can figure that out.
Yeah, I agree.
That was a great question, Corey Powell. Good luck to you in your Farmingdale season. Hopefully they figure it out.
Yeah, COVID. That started it off.
Next question. I'm pretty sure this was from Dan. So shout out Dan. Shout out all the stuff that Dan does. I know Dan's also on this same
Daniel
platform.
Daniel Sarpaw.
Yes, sir.
Sarpaw. Go follow Dan and Ash.
Yes, sir. Like we said, we shout out all the content creators here. So go follow that. Go subscribe to him. He makes great content. So we got the next question is he said, will Kyrie, KD, and James Harden all retire in a Brooklyn Nets jersey? And the follow-up to that question is, how many chips will they have when they do so?
If they do so.
Right.
Yeah. If any of them are going to retire there, I think Kyrie would be the one, only because, that's the team he grew up with, following, whatever. He's from the area. And from what I've been hearing, he actually does travel to Jersey sometimes, and his pops is always around over there or whatever. So I think Kyrie would be the one to end up retiring there. Not so sure about KD and Harden.
Oh.
I mean, I agree. I agree with you. And like, I think the reason that it could be Kyrie is because, like, I don't know, like, everyone always says those things, but like, he might retire like the soonest, just because like he has interest outside of basketball, and he seems like people make those jokes, but like do you think those could ever be true? Like where he retires at a young age because he wants to pursue other interests, or like it doesn't bring him the same? Because like he talked about how like when he won his first championship, like he didn't feel that like excitement and like joy that, and he called Kobe, like that whole thing. Like, do you think that ever becomes like a real possibility? Because if it does, then he could be he could retire in a Nets uniform, but like in like 2 or 3 years, like if he depending, do you think that has any weight or nah?
No, it definitely does. You definitely have to like think of the possibilities, especially with his platform now and what he enjoys doing with like social reform. That's definitely a good chance that it might happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we really know that much about Kyrie, which isn't a bad thing or a good thing. I think what he wants to do is keep his life private, and I think he's 100% entitled to that. And if he's going to do things, on the low, it obviously shows he's not doing things, for people to see. He's just doing things for himself. So whatever he wants to do, I don't think we really know his agenda. This question is hard to answer though, because these are three of the top 10 greatest players of the last decade, which is, I mean, which we started as children. So I've been watching these players play the entire time. So to think of them retiring is a thought I don't want to have. So no comment.
Uh, and I got them winning. I got them winning at least two.
One,
Two.
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 Dang.
I got them winning at least two.
It I it's a hard question because it really all depends how
All three of them?
Yeah, all three of them. They're gonna win two. They're gonna win two.
the
I think
the
it's a good chance one of them happens this year. So,
the thing is, it's like it's a hard question because like if things go well, then two is definitely possible. But if things don't go well, the way that their contracts are set up and the way that they can all opt out in like a year's time or 2 years time, like I don't know, like it's not like it. We'll see because like it's obviously any super team and they lose a few games and then they go like, oh, is this, and then like, it becomes a media story because that's what like they build them up to break them down. Like that's the whole thing. So like it's not, you can't really say anything about the Nets till like we get postseason time and we see. But like if things don't work, then all of a sudden like there's like escape valve for both the team and the players to like if it doesn't work out. And I'm not sure if it will, but I say. Based on the talent alone, and maybe going into next year, they have like the ability to like figure out what, oh, now this works. We can build around this. I think they will get one. Yeah, I'll say one. I don't think it'll be this year.
I don't know. I think they'll get close, but I don't think they'll get over the hump. I think Philly, I think just how well together put the Bucks are this year. I think those teams are going to get in their way, and then when they can't, I don't think they get the defense together. And then when they haven't had the experience yet, I don't think this year will be the year. I think next year will be their best chance, though. I think if they do figure it out, it'll be next year, and everything will come together next year for them.
The next question is also from Dan, and this will be, to make this a quick one. How many more rings will Brady get before he retires? I say it's hard to bet against this guy, but I say one if things go well next year. But he also says that it's not like he has an age in mind he wants to retire. He's just gonna play until like he's one of those guys who just loves the game, and that like, he also won't. But he's also one of those guys who I don't think will go out when he's bad. So like I think that if his body remains healthy and he's playing well, he'll give it like another 2 or 3 years. And I think they're gonna try to keep the band together. Maybe they get one.
So yeah, I mean I don't know. I don't know if he is that guy. Maybe that challenge, maybe that fire will still burn in him longer than his body will allow. I don't know. I would also say one. I think next year is their best chance to do it though.
yeah, I definitely agree with next year. It's their best chance to. They will go out together again. That's probably their best bet.
And now, from going from Brady to a man that Obi loves, Giannis. Now, the question is when will Giannis get his first ring? And I don't
Hmm.
I don't think I can give you an answer because I don't think it's that soon. I don't see a path to him getting one in the foreseeable future.
Not on the team that he's on
I
right now.
I personally think messed up signing that Supermax. I didn't really tell a lot of people this, but like if you know me, you know I like you have to be pretty close to me to know this. Like I did not have Giannis coming back to Milwaukee at all. I didn't want it for him. It wasn't. I don't think it's best for his future to even like stay in that system. Like, but I get it though. Like he's a loyal guy. Like if he would have moved out west and went there with Luca, I really thought was gonna happen. That was probably his best chance. But I don't
Seems
think it's happening anytime soon. Yeah, him, Luca, and Porzingis. I really do think that would have been his best bet. But he decided to stay. And I was trying to, what's funny? Who asked this question, Dan or CJ?
This is Dan.
But I knew he was staying as soon as Bam signed his extension because Bam and Giannis they share the same agent. And the reason why they were holding off on Bam this offseason is because they were waiting for to see what was going on with Giannis. So Bam kind of was gonna know before anybody, to be honest.
mm.
And as soon as I saw Bam signing that paper, I knew he was staying. It was sad, but maybe Giannis knows what he's doing, man.
I don't know if he does. I mean, if there's any place to get to the finals, it would be in the East, especially for him. I don't think it's impossible. I think Brad Stevens has been able to stop him. I think teams have been able to build up guards and stop him in the past. I know he's coming back with more energy every single year, and he's still got a lot of years left because he's young. But it's not really ever about him. Like you know this for sure, Obi. Like you watch those games in the playoffs. It's not really him not doing his job or not living up to him. It's the supporting cast. It's the people around him. So
I mean,
could he be
sometimes
the
it is
best?
him though.
No. Sometimes he does need to be better, but it's when he
Yeah,
needs to be better. It's a game where Chris Middleton is not being good. It's a game where no one else can hit a shot. So his looks glaringly more bad than the supporting cast. So I don't want to be rude, right? Because of course I want him to win, but the best to never win isn't a place you want to be, for sure. But no one ever wants to be there. But a lot of people end up there.
Yeah, there's just not a clear path right now. The next question is from CJ, and the question is why the Heat will make the NBA Finals. And the answer to the question is that they will not.
Next question, please.
Yeah, the answer is you'll be paying me $100 by June. So
the answer is they will not make the NBA Finals. So we appreciate the question. Shout out CJ. Appreciate you, bro.
Shout out CJ. Appreciate the $100.
Oh. Okay. This question is again from Mike Gutierrez. He says, what NFL teams will have a good season next year that are not being discussed right now? So it's kind of similar to that question that we got from Corey, but a little more short-sighted.
You gotta include the 49ers. I don't think a lot of people are talking about the 49ers. I think they'll have a great season. It's just that everybody was hurt. It was still winning games with that hurt squad. So I'm trying to think. You talking about like playoff teams as well. That didn't get here.
That's to be doing good.
Yeah, I think the 49ers are on top of that list.
Are people talking about the Rams other than the trade with Stafford?
Nah, people are talking about the Rams. I'm pretty sure. Like,
Well, then if they're talking, then the Giants. The Giants are my pick because I think the Giants can win the NFC East because I think it'll still be bad next year.
I mean, if we're gonna stay in that division, I think we should talk about the Cowboys. Uh,
People are always talking about the Cowboys.
Wait, he said teams that'll do good?
That nobody's talking about.
That nobody's talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
So my picks are the 49ers and the Cowboys.
How about them?
How about them boys, man?
And if Isaiah's going Giants, man.
Wow.
You know what I got to do, man. We don't know what the future holds.
Hey,
I'm saying
Jacksonville Jaguars. J
Jets,
A
Jets,
G U A.
another U.
Jaguars.
No, I mean
Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson.
No, I'll leave him out.
Now
of
the
this.
Texans could be good too next year.
Nah,
Imagine.
I'll leave him out.
I don't know how they're gonna do that without their quarterback.
They said you're not going anywhere.
I don't know.
I'm saying
You're not going anywhere.
They just got the schedule of the worst team in the division because they were the worst team in the division, so they got a nicer schedule, a kinder one. And then you give me a new head coach, $80 million, 2 first-round picks, and a good GM. There's a chance, man.
Chance to win 3 games.
The question, good is relative, man. So good to me might not be good to you, but good from 2-14 is give me 8-8, and I'll see you in the wild card. Yeah, I don't know. I really can't think of another team, so I will go Jets. But there probably is a better answer out there, to be honest with you.
I can't think of a team that nobody is talking about. The Vikings. They don't really have.
They don't got defense, bro.
And Dalvin Cook can't stay healthy, so and Kirk Cousins.
J.J. Jettas and Adam Thielen, though. I like that.
49ers,
offense.
man.
And Alexander Madison too.
All right. The next question is from Marlon. He says, "Who is the front runner in the NBA MVP race?"
This is easy, man. This is an easy one for me, man.
LeBron
James. LeBron James.
LeGoat James. He is the front runner. We can talk about other people, Mike, but you have to say who the front runner is because that's the question.
No, it does have to be LeBron, but okay. I feel like that happens a lot of the years that I've been alive. So most of the years I'm alive, they said it should be LeBron. I mean, the other options are really what?
Embiid and
Jokic. No Steph love?
I mean, Steph got love, but I mean, let's keep it back. Are we giving that to Steph before we give it to Donovan Mitchell?
Yes. I am. At least. I am. I mean, I just don't think
Mitchell's also playing really well.
Steph realistically has that much help. Like, Wiseman's been hurt. Oubre couldn't make a shot for the first 2 weeks.
He doesn't, but
Draymond should always have court shots.
Always reward winning.
I know, but they're not. Right. Aren't they like 500 right now? Like, they're not. Like, I think like they're not like winning, but the fact that they're doing that.
I get what you're saying, but Donovan Mitchell's on like
the Jazz are number 1 in the West.
The Jazz are, yeah.
They're not even number 1 in the West. That is LeBron James, sir.
No, I think the Jazz are at the top of the West right now.
No, they're not. They sucked at first. They sucked like the first 4 games. And why they're not number 1?
They're not.
I don't think they're number 1. I'm almost positive the Lakers are still at top.
I'm not sure either, but I guess.
Oh, actually,
I think they both have. No. They both have the same amount of wins. I think.
No, I think you're right.
I saw something like that.
They're 1, and I think the
Clippers are 2. I mean, they're 2.
The Clippers are 3. Yeah.
Oh. That's how LeBron James 3 straight overtime games, and he's pulling out the win in each. I was talking to Derek. He's probably not listening to this, but that's fine. But I was talking to Derek today. Just like it's every year I pick up on something new about how great this guy is, and so this year, obviously all 3 games going to overtime. Their past 3 games, they've all gone into overtime, and not against like really good teams. So. You look at that and you go, why are those games going into overtime? Like the Lakers are the defending champions. Like, why are these games going into overtime? Anthony Davis has been out, sure, LeBron James is like Tom Brady in a sense. There aren't as many games in the NBA in the NFL season as there are in the NBA season. But what LeBron James is doing is he's grooming the rest of these teams, these new guys, to be ready. He's letting them take all these shots and letting them have the ball in their hands more of the time to be ready for the finals. So he's letting them for 4 quarters play their game. He said, if y'all can't pull it out, I'll tie the game. We'll go to overtime. I'll pull it out. It's simple. It's easy. I know how to do that. But if y'all could just play your game and get better throughout these 4 quarters, he's letting the team practice on these bad teams.
If you guys need help,
insane.
I'll be right here. You can give me the ball if you get stuck.
Yeah, I'll drop 25 in the 4th.
Right. Literally will drop 25 in the 4th when you need it.
And the final question of this mailbag is from Sonny. Shout out Sonny. He says,
Sonny boy,
what are my thoughts on our thoughts on the Derrick Rose trade? And what is the future for Dennis Smith Jr. in the NBA?
Nothing.
The second question is a quick answer.
Not a future.
No future.
He's just moving teams to go to a different G League after all.
You know whose G League team he's going to be on now? Shout out to the legend, tri-state legend, Isaiah Briscoe, man. Cooking in the G League right now. Love you, Briscoe. Shout out to Briscoe, man. Yeah.
Briscoe is tough. What? But yeah, for DSJ,
yeah, he could dunk.
That's all he can do. I mean, he played defense in the preseason, so I'll give him that. But offensively, he has has no confidence. Like, he doesn't look like he knows what he's doing when he has the ball or has a plan of what he's going to. Like, his thing used to be he used to get to the hoop, and now all he does is take like pull up twos like that. He hesitates before shooting. So like, if he can rebuild his confidence, maybe he could find the role in this league as like a backup point guard. But the path to him being anything above that is a steep one. It's a steep mountain.
One you could quickly fall off.
90 degrees.
How y'all feel about the D Rose thing? I was asking Mike about this earlier too. Like, how y'all feel about that?
Up until the first game.
Yeah. It didn't make sense to me at first, but considering that they gave up nothing, they gave up Dennis Smith Jr. in the 42nd pick in this draft. Like, it's literally just see if it works. But then coming in the first game and the way he looked explosive, like he looked motivated.
Is it expiring?
Yeah, but they're saying like he's likely to re-sign. They've said that already. Like, even before the trade, if they were traded to the Knicks, he'd likely re-sign. I mean, just because I guess he likes to be with Tibbs and like that whole thing. But I mean, he looked good. Like, they're running him and quickly together, and it works, plays off each other well because Derrick Rose hasn't really played on the ball the last couple of years. So having him next to Quickly to teach him on the fly and having that kind of mentorship on the court and in the locker room for Quickly is good. And that second unit looked great, and it just gave them a scoring aspect that they were lacking previously. So, I mean, right now I like it. Eventually we'll see what happens over time with Peyton and where that ends up going, and if Quickly starts or Rose starts or however they want to do it. But a game into it, I like it a lot so far.
He's definitely one of the more humble guys in all of the league because nobody has ever reached the level that he reached at such a young age and then have it stripped from him so quickly. And for him to immediately after he's traded to and I think like these past couple of years he's done like some soul searching. Like that game when he dropped 50 for Minnesota and was like so emotional afterwards, like he couldn't even like conduct an interview. Like you could tell how much it meant to him, like just to prove that he could, still sometimes get to that level is insane. But the way he came to the Knicks saying, I know what my role is and I'm ready to accept my role. When you bring in veterans of that caliber, that's all you can ask for. And he passed Obi Toppin the ball.
Yeah, which hasn't been done yet by anybody on that team. So that was a
first
big,
to pass Obi Toppin the ball.
And like you could see, like Quickly was smiling the whole game because he like there was like
that's their idol.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, and not even their idol. Those kids are so young. He's legend to them.
They said, yeah, they saw on Twitter like
he's a legendary.
Quickly was 11 when Derrick Rose won MVP, and now
They don't
he's
even
sharing the
know that,
backcourt
bro.
with him.
Bro, we were 11 when Derrick Rose was on the
Yeah, but like Quickly's even younger than us. Like that's wild. Like
really?
he's like 20, so he's like the same age as us, but like, or maybe the same. Yeah, but like,
I'm 22.
so, but I mean that is just like getting to this age is and watching sports and knowing that like like I've seen all these people's careers and then like new people are just like appearing and being good at stuff. Like it is weird. But oh look, a final question came in. It says of the Shoeless Joes,
Just now?
who would win in a 3-point contest? Who was asking that?
Wrote it down.
Obi.
Mike, I gotta say Mike. I mean,
I'll tell you what.
what are your
If it's
thoughts?
a one-on-one, Mike's not saying Mike.
Well, if there's a referee in there, Mike is saying Mike. So
I promise you're still not saying Mike.
well, you can promise me, but I won't believe you.
All right. Isaiah's my witness. Good night, refs. No foul out.
You didn't see me on the court though.
Better than
Isaiah, you're quiet over there. What are you thinking? It's a hard question, I know.
They say the tiger doesn't roar when he's around the Cubs because he knows his place and has no need to establish dominance.
Bro, who's ever said that?
That was a great quote.
That was inspirational, man. Very inspirational. Hey, man, look at Curry. So inspirational.
I won't beat my chest like the gorilla. I won't scream at the top of my lungs like the baboon.
But if you guys
know what I know. Okay.
If you guys do want to see that the actual result of that competition,
the slaughter that it will be.
But in whose favor, we don't know. But
wait, which competition? The 1-on-1 or the 3-point? I mean, we can do both. It don't matter.
We can do it all.
El Tigre.
I don't know, man. I just don't.
And then
I don't want to
be a part
feelings.
of a slam dunk contest.
I don't want to hurt feelings on the internet. I mean, we could lower the hoop for me. That'd be cool. If y'all could lower the hoop,
me on the
then
field.
I can.
Meet me on the field.
Go on the field. Jay Jettis.
But with an inconclusive answer for the last one, that wraps up.
It's not inconclusive.
In your head, it is. In reality,
what's going on right now, man?
I got film on you.
And it's not great, I'll tell you that. But that's why you work. That's why we work every day to get better. And I promise you, next time there's a camera in a gymnasium, I will hit the rim. I promise you that.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, I got this, guys. Thanks for stopping by the Shoeless Joes podcast. The podcast soon to be heard around the world. Leave your comments, like, and subscribe for more and great content.
So you guys can comment down below if you had a favorite Super Bowl commercial, and if you don't, I get it because they were garbage. But you have to comment who you think will win.
Who will win the 3-point shootout?
Yes, and Isaiah, don't make any extra accounts to like inflate the votes.
The 1-on-1 too. The 1-on-1 too.
They say the lion has never used the internet before.
You stupid.
But on that note, I'm not sure what we'll do yet, but we'll have some kind of creative poll on social media for find out for more content for future episodes. Not sure what we're gonna do yet, but we'll brainstorm in the group chat. Don't worry. But yeah, so for now, go make sure you go follow all of these socials. Hit that subscribe. Go subscribe to everybody that we've shouted out in this podcast.
G Styles and Dan and Ash.
Yep. Make sure you go support all that content. Oh, Brian Wallace, the Woo Wee podcast. Go shout that out too.
Shout out. Oh, I watched that last episode. That was pretty good. I like Dennis's speech on that.
They all make quality content. So go shout out all of our friends who also make content. Go subscribe to them, show them love. And yeah, go follow us on all these social medias and stay interacting with us on social media. But until next week, we'll catch y'all later.
God first. God.
I'm Maverick.
Godspeed.